What up, YouTube? Back again with another video from Natural TCG and Team Enforcers. Shoutouts to the sponsors Rogue Energy, Hashihana Customs and Games, Wooter, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Who do we have today?
We have Ken.
And CJ from Anti-Yami.
Yes, sir.
Link in the description below.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. So I got undefeated first place at the Greenville Regional that happened Saturday, February 21st. And I'm going to show you my deck profile.
All right, let's dive in and find out.
All right, so first off, we have a 3 Cool Tune Q. So you got to play 3 of these, 3 Rico, standard, 3 mix, and then you do play clip. I decided to play 2 instead of 3. I just think 2 is just the right number right now. Perhaps in the post-Blazing Dominion, you play 3, but for the moment, I didn't want to high roll clip with Rico. I just thought it was just not necessary. So just 2 is fine.
I would like to add with this too. In my list, I was playing 3, and he's definitely correct because when the new set comes out, this pairs better with your non-engine hand traps, and so this card, either you high roll it or you can it just sits in your hand. So I think 2 is correct for this format.
Yep. Red Nova at 1. You got to play right now. Maybe post Blazing Dominion, you choose not to play it at your risk. To continue, spells, Synchro Overtake, super strong. It can be an extender. It could be a starter. You could use it as bait. I can't tell how many times I got belled or ashed. Fun fact, if this gets belled, remember bell negates activation, so you can activate another one. So really good stuff there. The best spell in the deck, Cool Tune Synchro, twice per turn. This card, I was OTKing with this card. The fact that I can make my board, play under nib, and then summon my 5th summon on the end phase with this card, super broken. You should play 3. To continue, I did play double field spell, and this is where my list differs a little bit from others. A lot of people are just on 1. This is a 1.5 card starter because you of course need a tuner, but if you're playing all tuners, hence the main deck plus your non-engine, then you should be seeing a tuner a good percentage of the time. And this card, to be able to just extend, get that additional normal summon, it's just so much pushing. And then if they leave this on board, you're just playing for practically forever, it feels like, when it comes back to your turn. Non-engine, standard, we have triple Fualos. It has to be played. That's just what it is in the game right now. Triple Ash Blossom, which is also standard. You got to stop Fua. Triple Bell. It's become the second Ash Blossom. In this deck, you do have to play Veiler in case you do open those odd hands where maybe you open Q, it gets stopped, and you have Veiler in hand. You can still continue pushing forward. So play 3. Where things get different is I am playing Triple Mourner, and that's because of, again, playing double field spell. This card put in a lot of work. In testing with Anti-Yami, going back and forth, we were like, hey, let's just play 3. So played the 3, tested it, so good. Especially now knowing that Radiant Typhoon, they're dodging Bells and Ash on that Crocea like it's nobody's business. So this card was just so custom, and they can't Virtuous the card. They can't Virtuous their own Crocea, right? So the Bell just put in a lot of work. And then sometimes they tend to forget in the heat of the moment. They'll send it, burn, and it's so much easier for you to OTK with this deck, with RS. The tech, Ghost Ogre. This card was saving my life. So good. Hitting Mandate, hitting Ecclesia Synchro, hitting the Field Spell minion, hitting Tanachi, using it as a board breaker on my own turn. Super strong. It's definitely niche, but it's a synchro deck, right? And it's a tuner deck, so it just made sense as far as non-engine.
I would like to add with the Ghost Ogre. This is one of my favorite Ghost Sisters, and I wanted to play in my list, but it didn't really make sense because my list is more. It didn't have the same issues as this deck has, and Ogre honestly fixes a lot of the issues that this deck technically has. And the fact that it is a tuner and it could be an extender that way as well, it's really strong. And also, you can summon it off of Q, which he done it before too, where he already had enough gas, so he can go normal summon Q, use Ogre, and Ogre is one of the only hand traps in the game where it can use this field effect, and it can just be an interruption. It also comes that way too, so it's a good card.
Really, really good.
Solid.
Really, really good. I stand by this card for this deck at this current moment until, of course, the seasons change, as they always do. And then the last non-engine piece here is the Spice of the Virtuous. It's a great card. The card design is great. I don't think it's overly broken. I don't think it's just meh. I think it's a solid design of a card. The issue that I have with this deck is Vanquish Soul. After testing with another playtest partner, Austin, if you see this video, you know who you are. He was just destroying me game after game. And so after putting this in the deck and also putting the Ghost Ogres in, I had the ability to volley more, being able to hit the field spell, being able to trade Virtuous versus the Ripper if the Ripper doesn't have Lupus under. Being able to hit the Vanquish Soul monsters on the tag out just to prevent the monster from being summoned. Really strong card. And then the recursion definitely helps his deck, because not only now do you have to deal with the recursion of another pop, but you also have to deal with the fact that if the field spell's still alive, I get that additional normal summon. I can just set a tuner summon. It eats a lot of hand traps. It's just really good in combination with this deck. Extra deck. Over here, we have, of course, the Virtuous package. Just to get that out of the way. Gotta play that. I put it at maximum just because I wanted to just roll through. We have the Triple Maker. You do have to play this at 3. If somebody tells you to play less than that, that's crazy talk. You gotta play Remix as well. I played 2. I didn't need the 3rd. I valued more the Fallen of Albaz package in the extra deck. We played 3 RS. He's just broken. Triple Loudness Roar. And then I did play double Shackle Dragon. You could play 1, honestly, but I just like 2 just in case I have to just continue moving forward or trying to maybe just attack for game. But really good card. I made this almost literally every round. That card was on board, negating in chain. To continue here, we got the side deck. Card here is Nibiru. So me and Antayami, we were debating whether this is going to be Nibiru or Droll. For this deck, because I play so many hand traps, Nibiru just made the most sense. When I saw this card, with any combination of like Ogre, Ash, Imperm, I immediately just won that game when it came back to my turn. So this card was so good, paired with anything else. 2 is like the right number. Perulia, 3 of them, standard. You got to play Vanquish was a thing. Yummy is becoming a thing. And obviously Radiant Typhoon is also a thing. So definitely play that. Imperm, playing it more to be able to pair it with Nibiru. Definitely scared of like decks like that for hire in case they start doing their nonsense with Noroi. Just being able to have more target negation and pairing it again with Nib. The Spice side, not really, but kind of sort of, is Mistaken Arrest. This is my version of Droll. So with Cool Tune, the fun fact about it is that obviously you get to add from the graveyard. You get to summon from the grave. So once you have Mix, Rico, maybe even Clip and Q in rotation in your graveyard, you're still playing even if you activate this on your opponent's turn. Very, very strong against Radiant Typhoon. I was playing the Solemn Brigade, like 2 Warnings and a Judgment, or like the 2 Dragon's Mind and Judgment. But MST is a real thing in 2026. So I think it'll continue to be a real thing for the next couple months onward. So I just didn't want to play something that would just die to that MST. And I think this was a lot better. The 1 call by, just an extra card to do shenanigans with. And then the Cosmic Cyclone at 3. Again, me and Antime, we were talking about this as well. I originally had like a droplets lightning storm scenario, but by changing it up a little bit and not having enough space in the side deck, this just seems fair. One against Radiant Typhoon to be able to chain to prevent the mandate from actually resolving, but then also just to hit the die-fi. This deck loses to that. So if I don't have a tuner engrave when the die-fi hits, to make our S and then negate it, that's the only way that I can out it per se. This is like a sure out to the die-fi. That's the scariest thing for this deck. And that is the profile.
All right.
Do you have any shoutouts?
Shout outs to my partner of 10 years. He has been supporting me. So Miguel, love you. Shout out to Antayami. Shout outs to Gavin over here.
Behind the camera.
Shout outs to my Gamers Alley family. Get some game. Love you guys. And my buddies, when we go on trips, you guys know who you are. Thank you.
Do you have any? I have a couple questions for the list. So, some of this is in standard. Is there a reason why you chose Cosmic Cyclone over like Lightning Storm, Double Cyclone, or like worst case MST?
So with the Double Cyclone, we thought about it. The deck does play enough spells, but being that I had things like Virtuous as well, and my main fear was really just like the die-fi, I figured that having something like this would be simple. Now with Lightning Storm, the issue with that is I had to pair it more with droplets, and so I had to high roll 2 cards going second, and that didn't seem very reasonable in a hand trap deck. And so when you have decks like Exo Sisters that are on board and the Carmel can negate the Lightning Storm, or you have decks like Radiant Typhoon or Yummy variants that are playing the Mandate and they can just negate the Lightning Storm, if I don't have that droplets, it becomes very inconvenient. This low-key could have been MST, but I chose Cosmic because you just banish stuff and it just does its work.
I also like to add too, because the style of this deck is a 1-for-1 trade type of deck, and it actually GameStop trades your opponent when they get into those trade scenarios. So whenever you get into a grind game, and I play against them a lot, it pretty much feels over. And these Cosmic Cyclones, just being a 1-for-1 slow, like grinding with your opponent is really, really good. So when they start activating their Cool Tune stuff, it trades with more and more of their stuff. And then once they set up like a little tiny inboard, they swing a lot of momentum back on their side. So I thought the Cosmics were a little bit better because the only card he was really scared of really was Die-Fi.
That really was true.
Everything else, it didn't really matter. It just trade 1-for-1, like the Yummy Fill spell, the Mandate. It just did what it needed to do. Once he started playing, it was pretty much over.
Yep.
So,
Is there a reason you didn't play like the I guess it's kind of standard by this point, but the Gamma package, you didn't play the Gamma package, and is there a reason you didn't main Perulia?
So with the Gamma package, it's funny that you say that because for the YCS, I did play it. It was something that I was going back and forth with, and Tommy can talk to you about that as well. It was a struggle going through the back and forth on the Gamma. I played it at the YCS. It performed great. But what I noticed was, unfortunately, and you do get variance sometimes by yourself, I did not want to get variance on the driver. It was just something that did not feel as optimal to me. And the fact that you negate the activation of spell cards, like Rahu, for instance, if there's a probability where they have a second one or can get into a second one, Dragotail is still playing. If you're hard negating these activation of these cards that can only be activated once per turn, they're going through. So Radiant Typhoon, it wasn't really doing as much as I thought it would. And I'm only playing 2-clip. So like the benefit that you get with playing the Gamma package really is you make Maker and you set up like follow up. But normally 9 times out of 10, they're getting rid of that Maker. Because if they don't get rid of it on that turn, then it's literally an interruption.
And also the bad thing about the package, even though in the beginning I thought it was really good versus Dracotail, and not only that, the negation, they can activate another one. The problem is you put bodies on board, so if they get access to Ketu, then their Ketu becomes a lot stronger, and then at that point, if it resolves as a fusion, then you're in trouble. And then they can still activate another Rahu. So it just seems like it didn't really make sense. So I'm glad we did end up taking it out, and he obviously got first place, and it shows here. So,
yep.
Good stuff.
For the Perulia, that was also another debate because we were for the YCS, I mained it, and with good reason. It did its work, but I wanted to play double field spell, and I felt like Mourner was strong enough. I wanted to see hand traps that worked well, in conjunction with the fact that I am playing the field spell at 2, and Mourner just felt right. So I figured, you know what? Let me focus on what the deck does best, and then play against what I'm like weak against by playing cards like Ogre and the Virtuous in the main. And then whenever I play against that Vanquishful deck or even that Radiant Typhoon deck, I'll go ahead and just do the proper swap. That's pretty much how I decided on Perulian the side.
Is there anything you would move or anything you change with the list moving forward?
If there's anything that I would change, and again, we're still debating this, it's still this card. Call by the Grave is a great card for going first. I almost wanted to put another Nibiru. And the reason why, I never saw this going first throughout the whole 8 rounds. And at the YCS for 9 rounds, I never saw it either. And I was just playing through so many hand traps. This deck plays very low to the ground. You don't lose to Fua or Perulia in this deck, as long as you're able to, if you can get access to Maker and Quick Play at the very least, and you give him 1 draw, like that's a net 0. And sometimes, depending on how gassy your hand is, like if you already have the Quick Play, you just set up and not even Synchro Summon, and then they just lost cards. So like you can kind of count, okay, what other interruptions do they actually have? Especially like, did you Ash me here? Did you Bell me here? On top of Fua, I'm just gonna set this Quick Play, leave the main body, I have bodies on board, and I'm gonna Synchro on your turn, and like get more value, more advantage. Mm-hmm. But this is the only thing that I'm considering changing, is putting that as Nibiru, as a third Nibiru, because I do want to see that card paired with like Imperm, Fua, and all the other hand traps that I painted.
And one more thing about this too, that I thought like Triple Nib was like really insane, is that if he goes first, Nib's an insane card going first in this deck, because if he if you don't mind me showing this, where is Mix or Remix? So there's a really cool thing that he can do in this deck where if he goes first and he ends on like just Remix, and he can hold this card for a very long time. If they play into the Nib, he can go Chainlink 1 Remix to tag out, and then go Chainlink 2 Nib, and then still have the same interruptions on the board too. So honestly, Nib being a 3-of in his deck seemed like it's more viable than having a call by, because his deck plays through hand traps extremely well. So yeah, I think Triple Nib is valid.
Yep, that's pretty much the only thing that we were debating on. But I made the decision. You know what? Let's just leave it as it is for now. Who knows? But in reality, as crazy as that sounds, right? Because everybody wants to play this. This deck plays low enough to the ground to be able to play on your opponent's turn, where you don't really need the Call by the Grave.
All right. Kenny's masterclass for Killer Tune is coming soon.
It's not coming.
We'll make it happen.
It's coming.
All right, this is Gavin from Natural TCG and Team Enforcers signing out. A peace.